I sell plastic surgery business consulting, and we're doing 1.2 million right now. I'd like to get to 5 million in the next 3 years, and I just kind of made up that number, honestly.
That's how all goals are.
And I coming into this, I was thinking manpower was my constraint, but now I'm wondering if it's the model because we do everything from new practice startups. We work with existing practices, doing business assessments, and we do ongoing consulting that kind of looks like fractional COO. And every problem that we find, I want to fix for them. So we now do hiring for them. We'll do their HR. So yeah, we're kind of all over the place.
One, super common between 1 and 3 million, to at the beginning accept credit cards from humans' pulses as the primary method for what type of customer do I serve. But typically between 1 and 3 million is where you get narrower on your avatar and you get more specific about your products and services because you run into the issue that you're dealing with right now, which is that typically if you're good at something, you're good at a lot of things. And if you're good in a specific space, you want to help in all these different ways. But you will find out probably, and you probably, if I were to ask, which I will, is there something that you do that's very valuable, that takes you less time, that's more repeatable than other things that you do?
Honestly, that's probably the HR and hiring side, which is the least exciting, but
Well, boring businesses make lots of money, so I'm a big fan of that.
they all need it. And
Money is exciting, though.
yeah. And I see that as an ongoing recurring thing that wouldn't actually need high-level consulting manpower to continue offering that.
So is there a specific type of plastic surgeon that suffers from that problem more than others?
I mean, honestly, most of them.
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
But from the ones you said you have some startup people, you have, is there any differences in their needs?
Yeah, probably more so the startups. The earlier they are in business, they don't necessarily have an in-house manager that's doing that for them.
More headcount. Okay. So then what would stop you from just doing that as the primary thing you do?
I guess it just sounds boring to me. That's not as exciting.
Fair.
Yeah.
And I think what's really valuable, at least for me, is understanding that it is not my business's job to satisfy my intellectual curiosity. Like my business's job is to serve my customers, not my personal needs, my emotional needs, right? Because if it did, then it would change every day. And that would make for a horrible experience for you guys, but lovely for me. And so a lot of it is like repeat successful actions, do the boring work. The reason I say those things is because that is kind of what it sounds like. But I don't want to let you off easy. You do fractional CFO work. What's the thing that people want when they come from you? Is it different than what they need?
Usually, the existing practices that come to us are it's rarely needing more profit. It's actually they feel like they're on the treadmill and they're trying to deliver. Yeah, they need time. Yeah, they want to simplify. They want to be more efficient.
And you're like, you're just understaffed by 3 people.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you charge for that? I'll just tackle the next problem because this was fast.
Yeah. So the practice assessment, we go on site. So kind of like your original gym launch model. And we go for 2 days and then we build in like 60 days of implementation. It's $15,000.
Okay. How many customers are you getting per month right now and how are you selling them?
I actually don't know the number of how many per month. 1 to 2 new practices per month. My primary sales it's referrals, word of mouth, and then I speak at conferences.
Okay, so I'll just say conferences is probably the one that really drives the needle, and the other things just happen ancillary. Okay, so if we wanted to get to 5 million in 3 years, you could get to 5 million in terms of run rate in like 12 weeks if you wanted to. How many conferences do you speak at a year?
8.
Okay,
this year.
So I'm guessing you don't like traveling as much.
I mean,
you good with it?
I travel about 3 weeks out of the month. So,
So I would do this. I would probably increase the price of my core service. I would map it to the headcount, not necessarily do the on-site thing if you didn't have to. And then I would take all that travel time and I'd do like, how can I do a conference every other week? So if you go from 8 conferences to 24, and we change the pricing model so that you'd also don't have to spend 2 days on site, they don't really care. They just care that the problem gets solved. You could probably sell that same thing for 35 to 50. Given the customer avatar that you're going for. Because for them, they're just most of them denote things in number of surgeries. I know because my father's a plastic surgeon. And so if you're like, listen, it's 4 surgeries. What are we talking about?
Right.
like it's 1 day of work.
Yeah.
And you're going to pay 1 day of work so that I can give you 20 back forever.
Yeah.
It's a pretty decent trade.
Yeah.
How does that sit?
Pretty good, I guess.
Boring,
just there is
right? All that money.
there's a limit on conferences, like how many plastic surgery conferences there are.
Yeah.
But I think like related to that, we do get a lot of interest from med spas. Because plastic surgeons have med spas,
Yep.
and med spa owners are at these conferences. And I have taken just pure med spas on, and I don't know if that's a mistake. If I should stay very niche with plastics.
The reason, so I'll answer this one because it'll not just affect you. The reason niching down is important is because of operational efficiency. If the nature of the work you do doesn't change, then you don't need to narrow the avatar. Where it becomes important from a narrowing the avatar perspective also comes from messaging and sales motion. But if the delivery mechanism is more or less the same, you can have multiple ways of acquiring customers with different messaging, with different hooks, et cetera. And then the back end more or less stays the same. So I wouldn't say that that's actually something that's going to limit you.
Okay.
So are we getting into the medical staffing business as the primary
I
thing?
feel like I already am, but it's not as my primary. But
Okay.
it sounds
But
like,
do you make the most money there?
Yes. Long term.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Yeah.
do.
So they need it the most. You make the most money there, and they all need it. And you sell time to people who have none, and they have money.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
You bet.
If you're a business owner and you are not growing as fast as you'd like, I'd like to give you a free gift. So my team and I put together the $100 million scaling roadmap, which is basically 200 hours of us looking over all the portfolio companies we've had and what stages of growth they went through, and more importantly, where they got stuck and how they got past it. And so we broke it into these 10 stages, and we made this little kind of quiz thing where if you put in your business information, it'll tell you where you're at, and the most important part for you, what to do for each of the functions of the business across product, marketing, sales, customer success, recruiting, IT, human resources, and finance. And so no matter what you're struggling with, someone else has already struggled with it and solved it. And so I'd like to give you this thing absolutely free. You can go to acquisition.com/roadmap, plug in your business information, and if you want us to actually help you deconstrain the business and you're trying to scale, we'd love to help you out. On the thank you page, you can just book a call with my team, and we will look at the business, see if we can help, and if we can, we'll invite you out to Vegas, and we'll do this in person live.